Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Shenanigans Statesman of the Statesman. And now, here is the proprietor and president of the Shenanigans and the elder statesman of Rant and Rave podcast, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Episode number 2506 is the 26th edition of the Shenanigans Statements of the Statesman, and we're going to be talking a little bit the month of August 2025. This is a month I would rather forget. It's got to the point where if it was a person and it was a guy, I would kick it in the nuts. But that's how I felt about August 2025, and it started off not so well when I lost my temper in one of the live streams. And so much so to the point where I was told to cool off. And I got up to just close down the windows, and I figured I need to clear my head a little bit and let me leave. And let me leave the live stream for a bit. And I decided to do a video apologizing for actions because of, because I didn't want to get interrupted. Like I said, it was an awkward situation. To make a long story short, I didn't want to bring it up again, but I'm going to have to because this is basically a recap of this month, as always. I was on Jordan's live stream August the 1st, at 8 o'clock because we were doing because of SummerSlam. He decided to do a two-night SummerSlam live reactions. He decided to do it on Friday, so I was like, okay. And I have Saturdays off, no big deal. So I was kind of looking forward to going to the Portuguese feast and having a good time. And he did mention something about what happened to our friend Chayton. He suffered a tragic loss, and he did post it. Chayton did post it on Facebook, and it was to the point where it was. But because Jordan did not want to mention it out of fear for people that hold a grudge against Chayton or do no longer hold a grudge against Chayton, they'll say something and take advantage of the situation. I did not get that memo, so I was gonna go say something nice and be sentimental, because I am a good person and I want to be a good friend, and I want to show Chayton that listen, I still like the guy even though he sometimes can be annoying. So I tried to do that, but then Jordan's like, shh, quiet. And I'm like, oops, sorry. I apologize, calmly. But then the second time around, and he was still upset, and I said I was sorry. I slammed my hand on my desk here. And then he says, you need to cool off. So I got up to just, close shades because it was getting dark out. No big deal. Getting dark out. So I did a video apologizing. He said, why did you do an apologizing? I said, listen, I felt like doing that because I didn't want to get interrupted. So he let me back on the stream, and I did apologize, and I think that's that. Next morning, Saturday morning, I got a message from him saying they're going to have a meeting about me. I'm like, what? I was like, all right, whatever, fine. I'll be honest with you, I was none too happy. I thought I apologized. I thought I made my apologies, went under the bridge, no big deal. And to be totally honest with I was none too happy about that. But then I figured, well, if the worst case scenario happens, I've got to warn people. I got to tell people that, hey, this might I might get kicked out of Rant and Rave. I might lose my spot in Rant and Rave. I might no longer be a part of these live streams. Like I said, my main concern was the channel that I worked 3 years to improve on could get seriously affected by this situation. So I want to let everybody know ahead of time what's been happening. That way, I don't want to get bombarded with a million questions. I don't want anybody bombarding Jordan or Brandon a million questions either. So that was, because I don't want hard feelings to go on. I don't want Brandon and Jordan being people. I don't want people being upset with them over it. I don't want people upset with me over it. I want to make sure that everything is smooth. All right. I was mentally prepared, and Jordan was not very happy about me making a live video about that, but it was not meant to make them look bad. That was not my intention. My intention is to prepare everybody in case the worst case scenario happens. Now he said, and one thing I was not very happy about, and I didn't get a chance to tell him this, that he compared it to pulling an Andrew Hawking. Now, I kind of hate to say it, but I did not like it at all, because Andrew Hawking's situation was a little bit different than mine. In his situation, he was not contributing to Rant and Rave, and they asked him to go. They asked him to leave. And in fact, they asked him he needed to be off Rant and Rave for a while. He was upset about it. He blocked Jordan, and he started crying on his live stream. Me, it's more like this is the situation that's happening, and if the worst comes to worst, this is what I'm going to do, which is move forward with my show, keep on doing my thing, and everything else in between. That was I told people not to get upset with Brandon and Jordan about this decision. I don't want anybody coming after, getting upset with me or anything like that. I was trying to protect all of us. That's the only difference. Andrew Hawking did not do that. So, but I did apologize to Jordan and Chayton. I told them what my intentions were. They understood. They understood me. They understood where I was coming from. So I decided, well, I'm going to honor the sabbatical. So that's what that was the decision made. A month-long sabbatical for the month of August. So I'm basically banned from live streaming on the Raw Live Reaction and Rant and Rave and Chillin' with Jordy. So, long story short, I decided, well, I'm not going to go on the live chats of either of those streams either. Also, I will not be making any appearances for Chayton's live streams or even David St. Dennis's live streams during this time, during my sabbatical. And also, I was not going to appear on the live chat for both of us on the sofas during the sabbatical. I want to honor that sabbatical, and I figured I want to go all out with it. The only time I did make an appearance after the edict was handed to me was the match game, because I did make a commitment to that before the whole situation happened, and that was my important goal. So I decided, well, I'll do some of my solo live streams, and like I said, the first live stream I did, Chayton and Jordan, we had a good talk and everything else, and possibly, and I'm thinking about, I have a theory about how I lost my temper. I think it was that I felt like people are not respecting me as much. I feel like I've not been respected as much. And because, you're friends with this person, we're going to get on your case and everything else. And I think the last 9 years, I've been not shown a lot of respect here on YouTube. And that kind of angers me inside. I dealt with so much crap, and I felt like, I could have lost my temper after that whole edict went down. I could have screamed. I could have been upset and saying, you know what, I've had enough. Fed up to here, fed up. You're trying to be the elder statesman, and you're trying to lead by example. You have that life experience. Growing up in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, times are different, times have changed, but I want to show you guys that, listen, this is how I handle this situation. I've been there. I'm trying to help other people out. I've been in this situation. I can help you get out. What saddens me is that people don't want my help. They don't want my, advice. They don't want my respect. There's people I had to cut ties with because they don't want my help, don't want respect. There's people I had to cut ties with that they failed to stand up for me. They failed to watch my back, because they decided to run and hide behind me. And, there was a lot of people I had to cut ties with over these 9 years. People I thought they were once friends of mine. It wasn't easy. I felt like what happened at the beginning of the month, what happened there was, to me, the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm done. I feel like I'm done. There would come a time though I would have said I quit all live streaming. I was this close to saying I'm done with live streaming. I'm done with live chatting with everybody. I'm done. But something inside me says, don't give up, Eric. Don't quit. So that's what I decided to do. Again, I want to apologize to everybody out there. Brandon Martin, Jordan Little, William Braun, Chayton Long. There's a lot of good folks. Apologize to everyone out there. I don't want to be mentioning names at all. Listen, I am really sorry about me losing it. I ask you to forgive me for that. I do appreciate you guys, though, being good friends of mine there. I also want to thank Dan, a.k.a. Rebel Media, and Alex Putnam, a.k.a. Pizzle Knight, for coming to going to bat for me about Rant and Rave, which they didn't have to do, but I do appreciate that. Thank you guys for that. Appreciate it wholeheartedly. And like I said, it has been a very tough month for me, not able to communicate with anybody. And the mistake, like I said, I admit the mistake that I made was telling everybody not to mention me during this time of sabbatical, or making references of me and stuff, because, I'll be honest with you, throughout the entire month of August, I haven't heard from anybody since the beginning of the month. And but I would have been angry and said, come, you guys didn't message me, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. I said, nah. You know what? They believed I'm going to be okay, and here I am. Feeling chill, feeling relaxed, and having a good time. Yeah. So yeah. So it's something. It is something, folks. It is something, and so it's been a tough road, and I think Anthony Hardy said it best, and it felt very empty without me in there, and and it is a tough road, but hey, I got a lot of time to myself during this month, and did everything, and didn't have to worry about getting yelled at for watching Collision or TNA Impact while I'm streaming with everybody else out there. Hey, it's my show. Also, I have a show to do too, and these people need some wrestling news. So, figured, why the heck not, right? I watch a lot of wrestling, man. I don't watch just WWE. I watch TNA. I watch AEW. I'm a professional wrestling fan, and I enjoy it. A lot of people do not get that. Oh, we hate AEW because of Tony Khan is being petty, We hate the Young Bucks. I like, the reason why I like making fun of people like the Young Bucks, because they're a couple of idiots, the Beavis and Butthead of professional wrestling. That's the Young Bucks for you. I've always wanted to make fun of MJF, and I love crushing on Tony Storm, love her, love Carly Cameron, love Hikaru Shida, Mina Shirakawa, Hey, I already like Kairi, Asuka, and Io. I like Julia, I like Zarya, Come on. You're telling me? TNA, I like Lei Ying Lee. I like Tessa Blanchard. I like, it's like, I like, I like, there's wrestlers I like to cheer for, wrestlers I like to boo, and just have fun. I'm an old school wrestling fan, man. Just, leave me be. Let me watch my show. Have some fun. That's what I want to do. So it's like, but it is tough without talking to any of my friends, and I decided not to appear on the live chats and such. Like I said, the only time I made an appearance after the sabbatical edict went down was when the match game, because I did make a commitment to that before everything else happened. So I figured, make that commitment now, and then not make any more appearances. Like I said, I decided not to make any appearances for it, like on Chayton's channel or David St. Dennis's channel anytime soon. I decided not to appear in the live chats and stuff. And so, but I am hoping to come back tomorrow on the Raw live streams. I know I'll be having a lot to get off my chest or catch everybody up to speed on what's been going on. And y'all didn't hear that. Hey man, here we go. Anyways, so yeah, and so that was one part. That whole situation made my month really suck. Okay. Um, what made it worse was what happened over in Minneapolis. I feel bad. It's so sad that people would, like I say, it makes me, and so we don't need any prayers. Well, you do need prayers. We need prayers for people who are getting their hearts broken. We're trying to pray prayers for the strength of people. Prayer works there. Was the mayor of the city? Mayor needs to slap upside his head. That's why I don't like politicians, because they ruin a lot of things fun. I hate politics. I don't like politicians because they always ruin fun stuff for us, and they always ruin things that are very, very important to the community and stuff. Like I said, if I want to vote for somebody to run the White House or run a city, I would vote for Jar Jar Binks, the Three Stooges, Beavis and Butthead, Matt Riddle. Heck, I'd rather vote for MJF. I'd rather vote for the Young Bucks. Okay? It's how much I don't like our politicians today, man. So, and for what happened, in Minnesota, my heart goes out to the families that were affected by this, and my condolences and prayers go out to all of them, and just pray for God to give you the strength to soldier on, and honor the memory of those lost. So, and to the mayor there, you just made a list, you stupid idiot. Anyways, so there's that. And also, this hasn't been up in my month either, because another classmate of mine, another old school classmate of mine passed away. I found out about this, let's see, this past Friday, so this was like 6 days ago, basically. I found out from his sister, who I'm friends with on Facebook, because both of his sisters were, he had two twin sisters who were older than him, and and they were my classmates, and at the Christian school that I attended years ago. I'm talking about 88. In fact, him and I were friends before that, when our churches used to get together for our special services, and we had a lot of fun with them. And every time, we go to his church, we have a lot of fun there, and then we go to my church, and we have a lot of fun there. Church lock-ins we do for the youth groups, and everybody gets together, we had a lot of fun. And we became, our friendship strengthened when we started attending the Christian school, and we had a lot of fun, there. We had some tough times, and we have some tough times, but we're still. That's what friends do. Friends, sometimes they have some disagreements and stuff and everything else in between them, and then, yeah. So there's that. So to Caleb Davis, rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace, my friend. You are going to be missed. So August has been really this year has been really, really awful. Between not being able to go on streams and interacting with my friends, and it's like I said, it's been a rough road. It has been a rough road this year, and like I said, the only sad part about this, the only thing that went right was the Portuguese feast. I had a great time there. No issues, no nothing. So I wisely, went there and just all that good stuff. And so there's that. So it's yeah, been a rough month. It's been a rough month for me, but thank God it's almost over. I got basically less than 5 hours to go of this month. Thank God. because I'm ready to say goodbye to August. Here's August. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to take a couple of played out jokes and combine them into a Lima-ism. Hey, August, why don't you put your lima bean brain in a race car bed? Let me do that again. All right, let's try it again. Hey, August, why don't we take your lima bean brain into a hop onto a race car bed and put it in a race car bed and throw the car in reverse and run into a brick wall. Because, August, I can say goodbye to you for good. Because August 2025, got 2 words for you. You suck. I don't want to see you, August, anymore. You suck. You suck. This summer, the only highlights from this summer, the Whalen City Festival and the Portuguese Feast. Everything else sucks. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. So you may be thinking, Eric, what is up for September? As you know, September will mark the 3rd anniversary of this great show. And of this great and awesome show. And basically, what I'm going to do, I am going to bring back the Big League Slugger baseball. And I know where the game is. It was not in my thing. I checked there. It's in my PlayStation thing. I'm going to have to bust that out. And what I'm going to do is, I wish I had another sabbatical. That way I can basically work on the project. I should have worked on the project all summer long. But anyways, I'll be working on tinkering up the rosters a little bit for Big League Soccer Baseball. My boy Anthony Hardy has done this for his channel, and his roster is a little different. Going to be a little different than mine. My roster, and they have an Alpha League and a Beta League. I'm going to call, I think one of the leagues has a DH in it. Whatever the league is that has a DH in it will be called the Eastern Conference. That's right. I'm going to have Eastern Conference with Eastern cities. Now, I made a couple of snafus here, but I will fix those snafus when I get to it. So I'll have to I got the list of rosters right here. The only difference, I only got 2 more teams to fill in because there's 6 teams, I believe, in each league in the Big League Slugger Baseball for the PlayStation 1. Well, like I said on last time, I wish they updated it. I wish they had like Big League Slugger Baseball 2 and have, like, we could still do the same thing, almost the same graphics, updated graphics. You can add, female ball players should be entered into it. We can have our own uniforms, team names, and whatnot, and have like the DH be universal in both leagues and all that good stuff. So, what I decided to do was I wrote down the team roster. I'm not going to go all through the names. I'm going to name you the team and what the teams represent. Okay? All right. For the Eastern Conference, I have the Dartmouth Dragons. It will be myself. I will be part of this team as the team's DH. That's right. And also, and all my teammates on this Dartmouth Dragons team for the Big League Slugger Baseball, former co-workers at Ruby Tuesday, because they, like, working at Ruby Tuesday, had a lot of great memories over there, and there were a lot of great people that loved me over there. So that's so the Dartmouth Dragons will be me and my Ruby Tuesday co-workers from back in the day when I used to work at Ruby Tuesday. The Freetown Samurai, also like the Freetown Knights. I'm going to change that as well. The Freetown Knights, not the Freetown Samurai. The Freetown Knights. The Freetown Knights are my my brothers and sisters in Christ in my church over the years, past and present. All right, and also people that have been associated with our church, like from other churches over the years. That's very, very important. So I got that. The Manhattan Maulers will be the current Raw roster of WWE. That's right, Manhattan, because I chose Manhattan because it was the first city to air the first Raw in 1993. I call them the Maulers. Now, the Stanford or Hartford Titans. I think the Hartford Titans is more because I would call it Stanford Titans, but I call them the Hartford Titans. They'll be the current SmackDown roster because the SmackDown pilot episode back in early of April '99 took place in Hartford, Connecticut, And Titans, what after Titan Towers or Titan Sports. That's what the WWE was. So I got that. The Orlando Squires. That will be. I picked Squire because it's like another word for rookie and all that. Orlando Squires will be for the NXT roster. All right. Now, I had the Nashville Impact. That will be all TNA wrestlers of the current roster to be part of the Eastern Conference, but I'm moving them to the Western Conference. Why? The Jacksonville Elite will be part of that roster, part of the Eastern Conference, where it will be all AEW Ring of Honor. The Las Vegas, now I was going to say Divas with all female singers, but I'm going to tweak that roster a little bit because it'll be musicians, like popular musicians, from girl groups, boy groups, whatever, boy bands, girl bands, even from the past, like the 80s and all that. Yeah, the Las Vegas Rockers. That's when they're going to call themselves the Rockers. Then the Beverly Hills Vixens, all actresses and comedians. And the Hollywood Hammers, all actors and comedians as well. And I'm going to add another team of all wrestlers that used to be in the WWE, like WWE alumni, legends and alumni. That's going to be a huge deal. I'm thinking of getting they're going to be from Portland, like Portland wrestling, because wrestling was big in Portland, Oregon. And I figured I want to honor my boy Brandon Martin by putting, and so I figured he lives in Oregon. I figured I'll honor him by putting Portland up there. So it'll be the Portland. I got to come up with a name for that. So it'll be a time. I'll update you on that. And I think one more team. I'm going to call them the Malibu Comets, like outer space, Power Ranger actors and actresses. That will be it. So now, because I think each league has 6 teams each, so that's going to be a huge deal. So once I get these rosters tweaked out and stuff, and I'll do a little tweaking of it, afterwards, and once I do that, I am going to introduce the rosters to you guys. That's what I'll do one of these days. And then once we get going, I'll do the Big League Slugger Baseball, and then we're going to be in business. And Anthony Hardy's already got that rolling. He's got the Michael Taylor Championships rolling on that. And that's a really cool idea, honoring. So yeah. I would tell you all the names on the rosters, but like I said, these rosters are kind of like not final. So are not final. So you may be thinking, what the heck are you looking at here? So it'll be very interesting to see which what names that come up with. He's like, we can see the names and all that. Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. So, like I said, these names are not final yet. The rosters are not final. Once I make the rosters final, I will let you know. I'll let you know what the in fact, once I play the game, you'll know what the deal, what the deal and drill is. Okay, so that is it for my Shenanigans Statesmen of the Statesman 2025 of August 2025. Excuse me. I do apologize for being a little serious there for a moment, or a little dramatic. But I figured people need to know what went on in my month of 2025. Hopefully September will be a better month for me, and as you know, we're going to be heading into the holidays soon, and I know Chick-fil-A is going to be open up very soon, and I know the Boot Barn at the mall is going to be open up soon. The potential rumors of a lot of stores closing, I don't know. If that's the case, I don't know. Will next year be, next year will be 55 years our mall has been open. That's right, 55 years. That's gonna be a surreal deal. 55 years, man. We'll see a lot of stores come and go. That's for sure. So, I'll see y'all later. You guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day, rest of your night. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Do It for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.